Most people never question what breakfast actually does to them. Your body is a machine that runs on real fuel. What you eat in the morning sets everything that follows, and most mornings people are setting themselves up to fail. There is a food sitting in your refrigerator right now. It is not exotic, expensive, or hidden behind a prescription. It is something your grandmother cooked without a second thought. 5 whole eggs every single morning for 30 straight days. That simple commitment is about to change everything you know. Not just your energy, your brain, your blood, your hormones. The food industry has spent decades making you afraid of eggs. Doctors repeat warnings that were never based on solid science. Cholesterol became the villain of a story told very wrong. And while you avoided yolks, your health quietly got worse. The research has shifted, but the fear never got the memo. A study tracking over 500,000 people changed everything. Those who ate eggs daily had fewer heart attacks overall. The people avoiding eggs were not protecting themselves at all. They were simply missing one of nature's most complete foods. We were misled for decades, and it is time to recalibrate. Before you crack a single egg, the source matters enormously. Not all eggs sitting on supermarket shelves are created equal. The label on the carton is often designed to deceive you. Cage-free sounds humane, but it can mean dark, crowded warehouses. Free range only requires a tiny door the chickens rarely use. These terms are legal marketing, not meaningful nutritional guarantees whatsoever. The only label that actually changes the egg is pasture-raised. Pasture-raised hens roam on real grass and eat real insects. They live under sunlight, and that sunlight gets into the egg. Crack one open and the yolk will tell you immediately. A factory egg yolk is pale, thin, and almost colorless. A pasture-raised yolk is deep orange, rich, and almost glowing. That color is not cosmetic. It is a nutritional signature. It signals higher vitamin D, more omega-3s, and dense antioxidants. No artificial feed additive can replicate what real sunshine creates. The difference between these two eggs is not subtle at all. It is the difference between a protocol that works and one that does not. Start with the right egg, and every week ahead pays off. Compromise on the source, and you're wasting 30 days entirely. This is the foundation. Everything else is built on top of it. Week 1 begins, and the first change catches most people off guard. The constant hunger that drives your day simply starts to quiet. That 3 o'clock craving that always ambushes you begins to vanish. The voice in your head demanding food stops being so loud. This is not willpower. You have not suddenly become more disciplined. This is your biology responding to something it has been missing. Most people live in a state of low-grade, hidden starvation daily. You eat plenty of calories, but your body still wants more. The calories are empty, and your cells are quietly going hungry. 5 whole eggs in the morning completely rewires that broken cycle. Cereal and toast send your blood sugar rocketing up immediately. Your pancreas panics and floods your system with too much insulin. Insulin is aggressive. It overcorrects and crashes your blood sugar hard. Now your body is in a minor emergency, demanding more food. You eat again, the cycle repeats, and nothing ever truly stabilizes. 5 whole eggs break this cycle at its very biological root. You are consuming roughly 350 calories of concentrated fuel. This is not empty energy. This is a complete nutritional matrix. B vitamins, selenium, iodine, phosphorus, all arriving in one single meal. But the real shift comes from 30 grams of complete protein. That protein, combined with 25 grams of healthy natural fat, changes everything. This specific combination triggers hormones that your body has been craving. One of them is called peptide YY, a satiety signal. When your brain receives this signal, the search for food stops. Insulin remains stable because eggs have almost no impact on blood sugar. And when insulin stays low, your body accesses its own fat stores. You may not see dramatic changes on the scale in week 1, but you will feel something shift in the way energy moves. Steady, clean, consistent energy replaces the spikes and the brutal crashes. Your body is remembering what it feels like to run clean. Week 2 arrives, and the changes move from your body to your brain. Something is happening between your ears that most people never experience. A nutrient that almost nobody talks about is now flooding your system. It is called choline, and it is the reason eggs are unique. Eggs are the single richest natural source of choline on Earth, and the vast majority of people walking around right now are deficient. Your brain uses choline to manufacture a messenger called acetylcholine daily. Acetylcholine is the neurotransmitter responsible for learning, memory, and sharp focus. It is the software that lets you absorb and recall information clearly. Without enough of it, your brain is running on an outdated operating system. Have you ever read the same sentence 5 times without comprehension? Have you walked into a room and completely forgotten your reason? That frustrating mental blankness is what low acetylcholine actually feels like. 5 eggs deliver 600 to 700 milligrams of choline daily. You are not just feeding yourself, you are upgrading your brain directly. People who commit to this describe it as a fog lifting completely. Tasks that felt overwhelming suddenly feel manageable and even energizing instead. Focus sharpens, recall improves, the mental static begins to quiet down significantly. And this is only one of 2 mechanisms running simultaneously in week 2. The second one is happening deep inside the structure of your neurons. Pasture-raised eggs contain a specific omega-3 fat called DHA directly. Your brain is 60% fat by dry weight. Think about that. It needs a constant supply of quality fatty acids to function properly. DHA maintains the structural integrity of the membrane surrounding each neuron. Think of it as insulation wrapped tightly around an electrical wire inside you. Without proper insulation, the electrical signal weakens, distorts, and eventually breaks down. The DHA in eggs is far more bioavailable than any plant-based source. Your body can absorb and deploy it immediately without conversion steps required. By day 14, you are not just fueling your brain for today, you are literally rebuilding the architecture your thinking depends on every day. Many people also notice reduced anxiety and a more stable, consistent mood. Reflexes sharpen, decision-making feels faster and less effortful than before this started. And there is one more thing happening that most people never expect. Those deep orange yolks are packed with 2 powerful antioxidants protecting you. Lutein and zeaxanthin accumulate directly inside the retina of your eye. They function like internal sunglasses, filtering out damaging blue light continuously. Every screen you look at generates oxidative stress inside your eyes daily. Lutein and zeaxanthin intercept that damage before it can accumulate over time. By day 14, your thinking is sharper and your vision is protected. 2 weeks in, and the transformation is already running deeper than you imagined. Week 3 is where the conversation about protein needs to get serious. The 30 grams of protein in 5 eggs is not ordinary protein. This is where biological value becomes the most important concept to understand. Not all protein your body receives gets used to build or repair tissue. A large portion gets wasted and burned as ordinary fuel instead. Scientists measure this efficiency using something called net nitrogen utilization scores. A standard whey protein shake converts only 17 to 20% efficiently. Soy protein performs even worse than that by a significant margin. Whole eggs convert nearly 50% of every gram into usable tissue. No other protein source on Earth comes close to that number. Imagine building a house using 2 very different types of lumber. One type is warped, uneven, and forces you to discard most of it. You throw away 80% because the pieces simply do not fit. The other type is precision cut, and almost every single piece is usable. That is the real difference between low-quality and high-quality protein sources. And this efficiency gap matters more and more as the years go by. After the age of 30, your body begins losing muscle mass annually. This process is called sarcopenia, and it accelerates with every passing decade. Muscle loss is not just about appearance or athletic performance at all. It is the primary driver of weakness, falls, and lost independence later. Here is where the egg white obsession becomes genuinely and tragically counterproductive. Separating the yolk from the white destroys the biological value entirely. The yolk contains specific nutrients that help your body use the white. Eating pure protein without fat causes an unnecessary insulin spike every time. When you eat the whole egg, the fat buffers that insulin response beautifully. You stay in an anabolic state, building tissue without triggering fat storage simultaneously. By week 3, if you've been exercising at all, recovery accelerates noticeably. If your goal is fat loss, you will begin to see real evidence. Fat decreases while your muscle mass stays intact and strong underneath it. This is the combination that most diet plans promise but rarely deliver consistently. Week 4 is where your family is going to start worrying about you. Someone at the dinner table will mention arteries, cholesterol, and imminent danger. This fear is understandable. It's also based on science that is outdated. Your liver produces between 1,000 and 3,000 milligrams of cholesterol daily. It manufactures this much because cholesterol is not optional. It is essential. You cannot build a single-cell membrane in your body without it. You cannot produce hormones. You cannot repair damaged tissue without cholesterol present. Your body self-regulates this system based on how much you consume externally. Eat more dietary cholesterol, and your liver scales its own production back. Eat less, and your liver compensates by producing significantly more to compensate. This is why dietary cholesterol has almost no impact on blood cholesterol levels. For the vast majority of people, the self-regulation system works perfectly well. The fear originated from a fundamental misunderstanding of what cholesterol actually does. When your arteries become inflamed from stress or poor diet, your body responds. It sends cholesterol to the damaged site to patch and repair the inflammation. Cholesterol is the emergency repair crew, not the cause of the emergency itself. Blaming cholesterol for heart disease is like blaming the ambulance for the crash. It's always at the scene, but it is not responsible for the damage. The real culprits are inflammation, processed food, smoking, and chronic unmanaged stress. Eggs do not cause inflammation. In fact, they actively work against it. Cholesterol is also the raw material for every major hormone in your body. Testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, cortisol, all of them begin with cholesterol molecules. If your energy is low, your recovery is poor, your mood is unstable, it might not be a hormonal problem at its root level at all. It might simply be a supply problem. Your body lacks raw materials. With consistent healthy fat and cholesterol coming in from eggs every morning, your body can finally optimize the hormones it has been struggling to produce. Men frequently report stronger drive, better recovery, and improved strength within this month. Women often notice improvements in cycle regularity and more stable emotional baseline. The hormonal cascade from 5 daily eggs is quiet, consistent, and deeply effective. Now, what about LDL, the particle most people call the bad cholesterol? This is where modern understanding diverges sharply from the outdated public narrative. LDL particles are not all the same, and this distinction is critical. Small, dense LDL particles can penetrate artery walls and cause genuine problems. But large, fluffy LDL particles are harmless because they are simply too big. Whole food cholesterol and saturated fat shift your LDL profile toward the safer kind. Even if your total LDL number rises slightly, your actual risk decreases measurably. Most standard cholesterol panels do not distinguish between these two very different particles. Your doctor may not even know to look for this specific critical distinction. Ask for a particle size test if you want the real picture clearly. There is one more thing happening in week 4 that affects 40% of people. Most of them have absolutely no idea this process is even occurring inside them. There is a common genetic variant called MTHFR that affects how you process things. Specifically, it disrupts your body's ability to neutralize a molecule called homocysteine safely. When homocysteine accumulates in your bloodstream, it inflames your arterial walls significantly. It is a far stronger predictor of cardiovascular risk than cholesterol has ever been. To clear homocysteine, your body needs specific forms of B vitamins urgently. It needs B9, B12, and choline in forms it can actually absorb and use effectively. Many synthetic supplements contain versions your body cannot process or utilize effectively at all. Pasture-raised eggs contain all three in their natural, bioavailable, immediately usable forms. You are not just eating breakfast, you are detoxifying your blood every morning. While people spend money on supplements that may never actually work as promised, you are solving the same problem with something that costs under $2. This is the kind of nutrition that works quietly and completely without fanfare. But none of this matters if you cook your eggs the wrong way entirely. You can destroy every benefit discussed in this script in under 30 seconds. Heat and oxygen are enemies of the nutrients sitting inside that yolk specifically. If you blast your eggs on high heat until the yolk turns gray, you have oxidized the cholesterol, and oxidized cholesterol is genuinely inflammatory and harmful. You have also destroyed a significant portion of the vitamins in the process. The goal is simple, and it only requires one rule to remember well. Keep the yolk soft. Soft is the word that governs your entire cooking approach. Soft-boiled eggs are ideal and require almost no skill or equipment to execute. Poached eggs are excellent and keep the yolk perfectly intact under gentle heat. Over-easy works beautifully if your pan is at the right low temperature. If you prefer scrambled, forget everything you have seen at cheap breakfast diners. Use the lowest heat setting your stove allows without turning the burner off. Add a generous tablespoon of grass-fed butter to a cold pan first. Crack your eggs directly into the butter before the pan fully heats up. Stir gently and continuously, never stopping, never walking away, never rushing this process. The moment you see soft, glossy curds forming, remove the pan from heat. The residual warmth in the pan will finish the job without any more flame. They should look like silken custard, creamy, soft, and almost too underdone.
That texture is not a mistake. That texture is the goal you are after. This method preserves the fat structure and maximizes absorption of every nutrient present. A rubbery, dry, gray scrambled egg is a nutritional shadow of its potential. A soft, glossy, barely set scrambled egg is one of the most powerful foods available. The cooking method is the final variable. Get it right and the protocol works. Get it wrong consistently and you are undermining 30 days of real commitment. Respect the egg enough to cook it the way it deserves to be cooked. After 30 full days, your body has undergone a complete and measurable recalibration. Your insulin sensitivity has improved in ways that protect you for years ahead. Your hunger signals have normalized and no longer control your day from the inside. Your brain has been flooded with the building blocks of focus and memory. Your hormonal system has received the raw materials it needed to finally optimize itself. Inflammation markers have dropped. Detoxification pathways have been quietly supported every single morning. Your muscles have been given the most bioavailable protein source available on Earth. Your eyes have been shielded from the oxidative damage that accumulates invisibly over time. And all of this happened because of something already sitting in your refrigerator. Not a supplement, not a prescription, not a protocol that costs you thousands. This is not a diet. Diets are temporary arrangements built around deprivation and restriction. This is a return to the way your biology was always designed to eat. Your cells have been waiting for this level of nutritional input for a very long time. You have not just consumed food over these 30 days of consistent commitment. You have sent a signal to every cell in your entire body. Build, repair, protect, optimize, thrive. That is what 5 eggs say every morning. Your DNA responds to what you feed it. Food is not passive, it is information. And for 30 days, you have been sending your body the right message consistently. The transformation is not coming. If you did this right, it is already here. Now the question is simple. What are you going to do with it next?